Hello and welcome back, arcade and electronics enthusiasts. Today I have on the bench a Space Firebird board set by Nintendo. I just got the power all situated around and we're hooked up, and we will go ahead and fire this thing up and see what we get. So go ahead and start it up. And our Nintendo monitor. Yeah, it's just a blank white screen. Nothing going on. So no video, no nothing. And I got my logic probe hooked up. And 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26. We are not resetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the clock. So that's good. Okay, we've got some activity over here. Yeah, so no video, no nothing. So we'll go ahead and maybe I'll get the little scope, hook it up, set it up back here, and just start probing around and looking at some signals, see what's going on, see what is going on with this thing. I'll get the schematic out. First thing we'll do is we will look at our CPU board. I might replace this socket so that I can utilize the fluke. And with the fluke I can test all of these EPROMs. And as always, I could just dump these EPROMs and check the contents of all of the software on this board, which is something I like to do anyway, so I think I will do that. And we have bipolar ROMs over here that looks like they were replaced, so there's no telling if those are even any good. So, yeah. No idea what's going on here. So let's go ahead and do that. I think first thing I'll do, first and foremost, is make sure that we are working with a good set of software. So, and I'm going to replace this socket, I think, just for fluke's sake. Alright, I dumped all of the software and went through it, and what I found is this chip right here, which is a 82S123, is not a Space Firebird file, and this is on the video board, so it's probably a palette ROM. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'd look at the schematic and find out what it does, but this thing is not the correct file, so I'm going to have to I'm going to have to program one of these chips with the correct file. So this thing is garbage. It comes up to nothing. So while I got this still out, I'm firing it back up. I'm going to program that chip. The rest of the software is absolutely fine. All of it. So I removed this 2708 off of the soundboard, and it had a bent leg. Luckily, I was able to straighten it out good. This board set, and it tested good. This board set needs a lot of maintenance because these sockets are no good. Most of these sockets are terrible. Let's get some light in here. This is on the soundboard. Look how dirty and nasty they are. Corroded type. That sound ROM, that needs a better socket than that. All of these sockets are really quite shady. On the video board, this one's broke. This is where that bad chip was at. That bad bipolar ROM goes there. just nasty, dirty. Oxidized, corroded sockets. Yeah, these sockets are gonna have to be replaced. And the ones that are on this board right here are all the same way. They're all just, you see, oh, they're all just nasty, dark, kind of corroded. Single-sided, corroded, dark, oxidized. All of these sockets are bad. Look at that. Like crusty. Just crusty and nasty. So yeah. And this is the Z80 socket, which is also just crusty and nasty. So this thing is going to have some serious maintenance work if you want it to be solid. And we do want it to be solid, so that's going to have to be done. I'm going to program that ROM. I'm going to go through, do all that maintenance work. And after that's all done and we're put back together on the bench, I'll be back. Alright, I had the Inquisitor out and I pulled these two RAMs out of these sockets. These are 2101 RAMs. I looked at the schematic, and because they're a kind of just a Fujitsu number, they're not really numbered at all. Fujitsu trying to be sneaky. But they're 2101 RAMs. According to the pinout, it is a 2101. And they're all bad, every one of them. I tested this 27LS00. It's okay. I put these LS chips that are socketed, I put them in my chip tester, and they're all good. So, I mean, all of these RAMs were no good. So that's kind of alarming. I hope that these two ECL RAMs, those are ECL RAMs, right? 70, yeah, those are ECL RAMs, I'm pretty sure. These two guys. I can double check the schematic, but I think those are ECL RAM. Maybe. I don't see any other ECL chips on here, so maybe they're not. This board doesn't use ECL. That's awesome. Good. Yeah, this might not have any on there. I'm going to take a look and see what is up with this board. Look at the schematic a little bit. I was under the impression that these two RAMs are ECL RAMs, and they may not be, which is great. They might be regular old 82S09s. Who knows? Let me find out what's going on. And yes, they are 8209 RAMs, and they're both good. So that's good. The only thing that is bad is all of these video RAMs. So we'll go ahead and put sockets in here. I'm going to continue on with all of these sockets, all going to be replaced. I hope these are good, whatever this is. It's some kind of, looks like a custom chip. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Alright, and some desoldering has been done. I removed those two sockets. I removed all of these chips. Those chips. These sockets. Okay. This CPU board, I removed the CPU socket and all of the EEPROM sockets. Normally with these Nintendo boards, I won't do that if these sockets look shiny and clean. These did not. They all looked like this. I don't know if it's getting there. Come on, focus. See how they just look garbagey? Yeah, those are not good. So they're just corroded and junk. So it just is it's a product of the environment that this board has been in, you know, over the course of 40 years. Happens. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. That is what it is. But I removed all of these sockets, that socket, all of the sockets on here. I removed the ROM socket and the 8035 CPU socket on the soundboard. And that's it. Now I get to repopulate everything and taking a break. There's all the junk sockets. So we'll get back at this shortly. Okay, and the work is done. The socketing is done on the Space Firebird set. Got all the new EEPROM sockets and the CPU socket, and it's all cleaned up. Looking good. Clean. And the video board, new sockets. And my 28-pin sockets were slimline, of course, and you got to separate them. And then the 22-pin RAM sockets. These two new sockets here and here for the bipolar ROMs. I programmed a new bipolar ROM. You know, the proper file. Alright, and then there's this board. I got new sockets here. A couple new sockets on the soundboard. So all that work is done, and we're ready to repopulate everything. I went through, the only thing that was wrong was the one bipolar ROM that goes right here. That was the only one that was incorrect, and it was a 82S123 in 8-bit, an 8-bit part. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and repopulate this thing, put it back together, and see if we get anything. Put new RAM in it as well, new 2101s. See if we get anything. Okay, we're all repopulated. Everything is in the proper orientation. All the RAMs are facing the right way, notches all up. ROMs are all notched up, Z80 notched up, and our notches up. Okay, we're all in the right way, and we're hooked up properly, and we're ready to go. So let's fire this thing up and see if we get anything. Nope, nothing. Still just a white screen. No video. Okay. Alright. Nothing doing. Okay, well, I think I will get the fluke out and put my Z80 pod in here and just make sure I have access to my ROMs and the RAMs. I should have access to the video RAM. So I'm going to check all of that stuff. See how our CPU board is working. Okay, weird development. I checked all of these ROMs in my EEPROM reader, and they all verified good. But they are not good. In operating conditions, they don't work. I had bad ROM, bad ROM, bad ROM, bad, bad, good, good, good. So I was like, okay, what's different about this? So I looked at the schematic, and they're all chained together, as ROMs usually are. And they have one common LS138 that is the selector. So if 3 of them work, chances are it's not the 138. It could be, but chances are it's not. Those are either they work or they don't. They don't kind of work for a few pins. Most, sometimes they might. But anyway. So I went ahead and just swapped these 2 ROMs in this spot. And it's not this spot. This spot's fine. I can read this spot. It's not like this is bad spot, bad, 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 bad spot, good, good, good. They're all good. It's just the ROMs. I swapped these 2, and this one's fine. The one that I took out of here and put into here is fine. Now I'll try this one, and it won't work. So that is 38. ROM at 38 to 3 FFF. And that is F9D9. 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 Is that right? 9FD9. So it's going to beep anyway. And this signature is always the same. 64A9. Always. This ROM's no good. Even though it verified good in my EEPROM reader. So I think I need to program 5 new EEPROMs. Because it was, like I said, bad, 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 good, good, good. So, yeah, it's looking like I got 5 bad EEPROMs. Alright. These were the 3 that tested good. And this one, I got an incorrect signature 1 time. And I have been hammering on this thing. I just put these ROMs in various spots on this board. And I'm testing them. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be messing up now. But I swear I got an incorrect signature 1 time on this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards a whole new set of ROMs. These Fujitsu parts are just flaky. These ones are no good. These 5 are bad. And for the sake of this board and longevity's sake, I'm just kind of thinking about just doing all of these. I don't know. I'll think about it. Okay, I went inside with the ROM files that I had dumped from these and did them against ROM ident, and like this one came up as Space Firebird. It's not this signature, but it's Space Firebird, so I don't know. MAME has it wrong, it seems. This is the parent set Space Firebird 5E, not this. And this is supposedly the parent set of Space Firebird. These 2 ROMs right here in these 2 positions give me random data every time I check. So those 2 are definitely bad. But these 3 give me consistent signatures of 64A9, 2F98, and 8997. So I'm going to look at these signatures and see if those are indeed the parent set of Space Firebird. I have a suspicion that they are, but I will need to do 2 ROMs because these 2 are definitely no good. So, yeah, these ones give me random nonsense every single time I check them. So, all right, I'm going to check that out, check these signatures, make sure that, these ROMs might be just fine. It's just not this set. Okay, I just went through all of the ROM signatures, and they are all now good. I had to replace 3 EEPROMs. Yeah, so, and these are the signatures for the parent set, the Nintendo version of I don't see Nintendo on this board anywhere. You know, I can't tell if this is actually made by Nintendo because I don't see Nintendo on it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is the, in MAME, this is the Space Firebird set that came up, but what I have here is actually these signatures. So I'm going to have to do a little research. What is this board set? This might be the Gremlin set. I don't see Nintendo on here. I don't see the Nintendo insignia on this board at all, even though it looks like a Nintendo board with the connectors and all that. I don't know if the Gremlin one is exactly alike. I don't see anything on this set that would... I mean, there's China. This looks like a Nintendo board, but it doesn't say Nintendo anywhere. So I don't know. This has onboard sound amp, which Nintendo did not do. I'm kind of thinking this is not a Nintendo set. Yeah. Which is weird because it looks exactly like a Nintendo board set. This is a bootleg or something. I'm going to go over the ROM files again and look up these signatures. And this might be the bootleg set. You know, it could be. But it is, I mean, it looks exactly like a Nintendo set. Yeah, very weird. Anyway, our ROMs are now good. I don't know about these two. We'll get to that when we get there. So I'm going to plug the monitor in and try to run this thing and see what happens. Actually, I'm going to do some more RAM checks. Let me figure that out, and I'll be back. All right, I just went ahead and hit run on the Fluke, and we are now running. You can see. But my guess is, if this is not a Nintendo board, then this will probably run on like a G07. This is probably not, I mean, these colors are probably not inverted, I would think. Something to think about. Anyway, yeah, you can see it's way wrong. Something's up with the video board, so we'll figure that out. Okay. Found something kind of interesting. Number one, I put it back to inverted video like Nintendo. So we got the red screen. And if I was just kind of poking around on this board. And if I probe pin 1 of this 164, look at that. Looks perfect. We got our stars flashing in the background. Yeah, so something's up with this. So I might have to do a little prior work inspection. I tested this chip and it was good in my reader. Maybe, I don't know, I could try putting the new 164 in there. Maybe this one's just funky. I don't know. I'll try that first, and then if I get the same thing, I'm going to have to remove that socket. Yeah, I don't know. I just replaced it with a Texas Instruments part. This is the other one that tested good in my reader. Look at that. And that is how that is in the arcade original, the arcade hardware. When you die, it flashes red. I know MAME did not do that as far as, you know, at least with version 140. The star field is different. The star field was they in MAME they just basically used a Galaxian star field, which is not right. Because you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the stars just kind of, some of them twinkle in this game, and then when you die, it flashes red. And we'll see that eventually. And as soon as you die, it'll flash red, I promise. See that? Yeah, Space Firebird. How about that? Man. For S's and G's, I think I'm going to put some of those original RAMs back in this thing and see what it looks like with the original RAMs. See, it does have a Nintendo copyright in this ROM set. Yeah, I don't know. This thing, though, that 164. Trash. But I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I want to pop just a couple of those in and see what the difference is. It's kind of funny that all of those were bad. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Experiment a little bit. And I got to hook a speaker up to this thing. So, I'll get to it. Okay, strangeness. I put all 8 of these RAM back in the board. And we get the exact same good-looking screen. Yeah. Now, why did they test bad? There's something different about these RAM that test no good in the Inquisitor. But both the 2101 and these will both work in the board. There's just something different about these. It's not a 2101, and it doesn't say 2101, actually. If I pull up, it says 22 PIC, 22P1C, whatever that. It's the exact same pinout in functionality as the 2101. Because you saw I had 2101 in the board and it worked fine. I took those out, I put these ones back in the board, and it works exactly the same way. Fine. Now, that's strange. Yeah. But I wasn't buying it because every one of these in the Inquisitor tested bad the exact same way. It would do like one good cell and then the rest of them bad on each one of these. So I knew something wasn't right there. If anyone knows why that is, leave a comment. What is different about these? Because I don't know what's different about these. You know, what is the difference between a 2101? Why would these test bad in the Inquisitor, whereas my 2101s, obviously they test good, and they worked in the board. They work the same, yet these test bad in my tester. So leave a comment if you know that, because I would like to learn something. But yeah, this looks great. It looks exactly the way it should. So I'm gonna go ahead and I need to just hook a speaker up. The sound is amplified on this, so I don't have to hook up an amplifier. It has a sound amp right there. This is like a Fujitsu special. This board set is all Fujitsu parts, which is pretty darn scary, to be honest. But, I mean, it's still rolling. Some of the Fujitsu EPROMs went bad. But these Fujitsu parts are all good. These are proprietary. Now, that's easy for me to say. You know, these are actually 74 LS 198s, but they have a Fujitsu part number. You know, yeah. Very strange. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So let me hook up a speaker. It'll just hook into right here. I'll use my that little speaker that I got, and I'll just plug it into there. And let's see what we got. Very faint sound. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. You'll hear it. It's very faint. But that sound is there. The only sound that I can't really hear is the shot sound. That's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But that might be because of this amp setup that I got. But I can hear the little brr, you know, the noise when you shoot a bad guy. All of the weird blah, 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 that kind of noise is there. The sounds are being made. I took the amp out and I just soldered 2 posts in there where basically the sound goes into the amp and ground. Here's the amp. But that amp is no good. You can see the sounds are actually there. So I did buy a couple of these amps. I don't have any of them. So I have to wait for those to show up. And then we will pick back up on this one. We'll get the amps, put a new one in there, paste it down good. And that should be the end of this one. I went ahead and removed both of these. LM324s, and one of them was no good. So one of them was bad. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just wait. I'll have to just wait until I get that thing and remove the little temporary post. I just wanted to hook up my amp, and this thing is not, you know, it's all preamped and everything, and it's ready to go into this amp, not to come over here and be preamped again and all of that. You know, it's not set up right, so it's really, you can't hear it well. But once I get the proper amp in here, should be good to go. So I'll just hold on and wait until I get that, and then should be done with this one. Okay, and after a long delay, I am back with this guy. This is the Space Firebird, Nintendo Space Firebird. I got my amps, and that was kind of a debacle. but I did get my amps. I finally got it and I installed it. What had happened is I'm in Michigan, USA, kind of mid-Michigan-ish, and I bought 2 of these amps from California, way out west. And the thing about buying stuff from California is a lot of times you might as well buy stuff from China and save some money, because you'll get it about the same amount of time. For whatever reason, buying from California is almost like buying from another country. And then it's even compounded when the stuff gets sent to the wrong state. So I bought 2 of these, and I'm in Michigan. They got shipped to Pennsylvania. So got in contact with the seller, worked something out, and he went ahead and doubled my order, so he sent me 4, which was good of the seller. Really, no problem there. So good. So about 2 weeks since I've messed with this, I finally got the amp installed. So we're going to go ahead and put this board set back up on the bench, hook it all up, and test our sounds. And then we can wrap this one up. It's pretty loud. Yeah. That was it. Sound amp. Okay. So I do want to do I want to test the fire and the sound for shooting and the sound for dying and all that good stuff. But I need to get a pin out for this. So I had it, I think, but I have no idea. It's been, like I said, it's been 2 weeks. So I'm going to have to re-get that and just kind of poke around on this thing. And this is where the controls are. And just do some moving and shooting and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Space Firebird. Be right back. Okay, I have looked up the controls and it's pretty simple. You have left and right are pins 1 and 2. Escape is pin 6. Shoot is pin 9, and 1 player start is pin 13. So I'm just going to go around and kind of tap those buttons and do some controlling, and that'll be it. I'm using the service switch to put a coin in it. Or no, I'm not. I'm using the little coin connector. Well, there's a coin, pin 13. 1 player start, left and right. I'm pushing the wrong buttons. I was using the wrong controller thing, I think. Yeah, there we go. Left and right. Okay, and then shoot is 9. 1, 2, 3. No shoot noise. Seven, 8, 9. Yeah, there's no shoot. No shot. Yeah, recoin, restart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. couple of sounds, it looks like. Okay. Coin. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, so we are missing a couple of sounds. I'm going to turn the, I'll be right back. I'm going to turn the lights on, and we're missing the shot sound and the enemy death sound as well, I believe. Okay, the problem is this 3080 up here. IC26. You can see I got one jumped over it. IC26 is right here. And it's basically this business and all of this business are the shot and the enemy death sound circuitry. And they both come up here. They both come up here and are part of this IC26. IC26 is like the final amplifier before that goes to the main amplifier, the final preamp, if you will, before it comes around and goes out to the main amp. So I just looked at that and I jumped this guy, and it works. So I'm going to go ahead and properly replace that, and we'll have our sounds back. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, we are all hooked back up. We got the new part right there. 3080 socketed. Yeah. So we're ready to fire this baby up. Ooh, I heard something go. That was different, right? I gotta find a home for this. For now. Okay, let me set this thing back up and do a little playing. Alright, now we should have all sounds. So let's do some play testing. Coin. And start. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's working. And there you have it. That is a successful sound check. All right. after a delayed, it's got cool sounds. I really like the sounds in this game. Yeah, after a delayed repair on that amp set this one back 2 weeks. But we are good to go. And to be honest with you, I would have to go back through the video to remember exactly everything I did to this. I think well, obviously we had 3 bad EPROMs. Soundboard, amp, and the 3080 and one of the LM324s, I believe. Sockets everywhere on this. Sockets were bad everywhere. Remember these things. I pulled these up. Now you can replace these with 5101 RAM or 2101, but these will not test as a 2101, which is very strange. Comment below if you know why. What is the difference? What's going on with that? I had to replace a bipolar ROM over here. Sockets, of course. I think two sockets I had to replace maybe. This chip, remember that 164 that was no good? Right here. Yeah. Tested good in my reader, but it didn't work in the board. Weird. Lots of maintenance work. All of these sockets were junk. Yeah, so this thing's pretty good to go now. And I already did run this thing for about at least 3 hours. So I'll leave it on here for about an hour and I'll come back out here and play it again, and then this is getting shipped off. So as always, everybody, I do appreciate you watching and supporting the channel, and all of your good comments, your nice comments are always appreciated. And another one saved. Excellent. So we will see you guys on the next Classic Arcade Repair. Bye for now.